Hello guys, it's your girl Cooper and I'm here with Sow-N-Sow Gardening, and I am making a video today on the couple of little plants that I have and little tests I've been working on and little trial and errors that I've been going through with, you know, my garden and being like really just getting into gardening, like not really a true blue gardener. Working out a couple of theories with certain plants and peppers and vegetables and all this other stuff, which is my first time doing all of this, so there is a lot of trial and error. So I am a balcony gardener, which means I have very tiny space to work with, and I kind of have to work with what I have to like get what I want. It's not a lot of in-ground planting. I'm doing a lot of pots. I'm doing a lot of ideas with stacking methods or just like putting plants together. And a lot of those theories that I thought was gonna, you know, work with my balcony garden, which may have worked for some people, did not work for me. So I am gonna go through those things that I kind of messed up on when I first started doing my balcony garden. So let's dive right into it. I wanna give a wonderful big shout out to my plant Cleo, because oh my god, so if anybody is actually following my page or whatever and actually saw the first pictures that I put up of Cleo, which is coleus, and I got her as a gift, and when I got her she was bushy. She was from an event, so I got her in her like prime top 5 status. Like she was popping. She was bushy, she was colorful, it was more red leaves. And then the winter came and I didn't know anything about coleuses, so I just kept watering and putting under light and, you know, knowing to bring the plant inside during the winter, but other than that, no other care tactics did I try on dear sweet poor Chloe. So what happens to coleuses is when they flower, after they flower, they kind of kamikaze themselves, where they're like, okay, I did my job and it's time for me to kick the bucket. So they get really leggy and they try to just stress themselves out so that they can go to the plant happy place. But I didn't want that to happen to Chloe. So what I did was I actually did some research and, you know, studied more about the plant and found out that they get leggy to do the kamikaze mission, and the way to keep them from doing that is to cut them back. So that's what I did with Chloe. I cut her back. In the pictures you can see that she is leggy. There are shoots everywhere, there's sprouts growing, there's a lot of neglect going on with poor sweet Chloe. And once I did the research, I then had her trimmed down. In these pictures you can see that she's trimmed down, and I have some in water, and that's just to encourage root growth. And then after I encouraged the root growth, I then planted her in this pot. Now there were 2 coleuses that I had, but between the both of them, this was what was salvaged. And a lot of them didn't make it. A lot of the leaves kind of just fall off the shoots that come out. I don't know if you guys can see it. I did keep some really long ones because I think the hanging effect is beautiful, so I did keep some, but all of these were just really long, as you can see from the pictures, and they had no leaves on them, and so some of them were not salvageable. I do have some in a test pot, which I'm trying a little experiment on with soaking the roots itself in water. It's not going too good. I think it's too far gone. I'm going to show you in a minute, but I'm trying anyway, just to be scientific about it and try out a couple of, you know, theories. But this is what I have left of dear sweet Chloe, and she is a coleus again, and that just so happens to be one of my favorite plants because of the color spectrum that this plant vibrates on. Like, you could go online, you could look them up. They just come in so many different colors, like flowers, petals, everything. The whole plant is just buzzing. So I am gonna rack up on more coleuses, but her name is Chloe, and just see what kind of varieties. But I'm really happy with the way this plant is turning out. Both of them were in these kind of pots, but the breakdown, the transfer from shoot to root was not easy, because for I would say about 3-4 days she looked like really funky, like she wasn't gonna make it, and that scared me, and I was so sad. Like, not only did I fail, but I killed the plant, so I was really sad about that. But I got some plant food and some fertilizer, and I've been doing a lot of homemade fertilizing tactics with soaking fruit and vegetables, and you know, throwing a lot of things in the water and pouring it on top of the plant. So it actually saved dear sweet Chloe, and today she's looking extra. Look at her snapback is snapping. She's snapping. Now these shoots do have little flowers on them. I don't know if you can see them. I'm gonna try to get this heavy pot as close as possible. They have little flowers on them, or you know, leaves on them, and then they will sprout to be these, making the plant much more bushier. And I don't know, I have some shoots. Again, I'm trying to hold it up so you can see it. So I might plant that whole shoot under the soil without any leaves on it, of course, under the soil, and just sprout a whole new plant. I might even give it a different pot. But again, if you have coleuses and they are looking a little bit leggy, as you can see in the picture, then what you might want to do is start to cut back and replant the shoots. I did the water to dirt method. You don't have to do that. You can go directly into the soil with the clippings, but I just wanted to, again, be scientific about it and study root growth and all that crap. But you don't have to do that. But this is a good way to bring your coleuses back to life and save them from their kamikaze mission. Going back to gardening has been very therapeutic, I tell you that, because it really, you know, brings you closer to nature, of course, but it also gives you some sort of like self-therapy. So it really is good if you kind of an anxious person or just going through a lot of stress and you just feel like, oh my God, like I'm really having a breakdown. Just try to get some plants. Just try to get some plants. I also have onions growing, green onions growing. This was not planted from seed. This was definitely from just regular vegetables that I got at the supermarket, and I popped them in dirt because when I took them out the bag, I noticed that they had roots, and I really didn't feel comfortable with throwing the roots in the garbage. Like, it just didn't sit well with me. So like my karma was like, don't you even think about it. So what I did was, when using the scallions or green onions, I took the roots and I just put them in dirt and I put some water on it. But before that, actually, I'm lying. Before that, I put them in water, again, the water trick, and I changed the water every 2 days, and beautiful roots just started to grow. And then this plant gets very long, so they just kept getting long. I kept cutting them back, using them for food, putting them in my food. Onions taste amazing. And then just dumping them in some dirt and seeing how that went. So if you can see, I don't know if you can see, but I'm gonna show you. I got some roots. Look, let me do the hand trick to this big plastic container. Oh my God. So I got some roots here, and I like to plant in clear containers when I'm first starting out, because I am just so interested in seeing this root process. So I don't know, I'm gonna probably find more you know, containers to plant bigger things in, just so I can continue to watch the roots. It's just something that's wonderful to see. But yes, you can do this with your scallions. A lot of vegetables that we buy from the supermarket, lo and behold, they can be planted. Everything doesn't have to be started from seed. So these are my onions. Oh, and let me show you. So this little guy, he decided to flower, and what that does with onions is when they start to flower, the onion is saying, I'm done, this shoot is done growing, he's not doing it anymore. He's gonna flower out, and then he's gonna drop his seeds, and then it's gonna sprout more onions. So you can definitely clip this and just continue to let the onion shoot, but I'm gonna let him flower because I'm gonna collect some seeds and I'm gonna try to grow some of these from seed. But I have so many of them that I'm just really gonna let it flower. It takes 1 to 3 weeks to flower. I noticed this yesterday. The bulb is pretty little, and I'm not even gonna pressure this little guy. I'm just gonna let him do his thing, give him lots of sunlight, have his soil nice and moist but not wet or waterlogged to the point to where it's looking like mud. So yeah, I'm just gonna let him do his thing. But so far with my balcony garden, I found that I don't get most of the sunlight all the time. As you can see, now we're in the shadow. Be in the shadow to about, I guess, like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, I'm not sure, whatever time it is now. So the sun is gonna make its way over here eventually, and for that I kind of just move all my plants up so that they can get the most sunlight and before the nighttime come. Okay, we did some good success stories with Chloe. Now let's show you some fails. I do have a fail, and it's not a fail yet, but it's definitely about to be. So this is before I knew. This is before I knew, so don't judge me. This is a pepper plant, and this pepper plant is in here with a green onion. So first of all, I dumped a bunch of peppers into a pot, and when they started to grow, they were really all bunched up together, and I thought, oh my God, like I'm about to have wild peppers and they're gonna be delicious and blah blah blah. And then I started doing a lot of research and realized that peppers steal a lot of nutrients and need a lot of nutrients to grow because they're making vegetables. So what can you not do is grow them all bunched up together. So then I started separating them. I separated them, I put them in a bigger pot, you know, I put them away from each other, but I put like, you know, 15 to a pot, and I'm like, okay, now when this blooms, it's gonna be busting. It's gonna be green and red peppers and yellow peppers everywhere, because that's what I'm growing, green, red, yellow. And so, yeah, it's gonna be, you know, it's gonna be pretty good. So you cannot do this, and I did not know that until I watched like 3 videos, and by the 3rd video, I knew I was messed up, because I was like, dang, I'm gonna have to take all those peppers out. They're too close together. And they're in there with an onion. So if this would be great if it was in-ground gardening. Again, I don't have in-ground gardening options, so they need space, because when they're growing, they're gonna snatch a lot of nutrients, and they're gonna snatch it from each other, which is gonna create a whole genocide in the pot. So this cannot happen. Don't do this. Don't be a greedy gardener. Don't pack all your stuff together. Do your research. I'm gonna have to repot these guys, and if you can see, I've done it multiple times, not just once, guys, once. First of all, look at the size of these poor babies. These plants were all planted at the same time, the peppers that I'm about to show you. These are in here with this onion, and that's how small they are. And then I have the mother load, which had a lot of onion, a lot of peppers in here. So as you can see, you can already guess who's winning and stealing the nutrients wars, because there were like 15 peppers in this pot, and child, please, it's a massacre going on. So I have to save some people. I have to like, look at this. It's like malnutrition, one in the corner who's fighting for his life. All right, that was a bad idea. Don't do that. I've done it multiple times, guys. Like, you won't even believe. Look at this overpacked pepper pot. Because I'm a balcony gardener, so I was trying here. But you know what? Do your research, because this is not a waste of anything, because I can save some people. And I got this, I got these seeds from the store. I bought a pack of peppers. It came green, yellow, red in one pack, I think from like Amazon or something. And then again, I'm one of those people that I just feel bad when I'm throwing away seeds and roots and fruits, and like I just feel so bad, because I feel like, one, I'm being wasteful, 2, this thing is alive. It's just tiny, but it's alive if you give it some water and some sun. It's alive, and you know, it just feels like it's gonna just bad karma, just bad karma. So I threw them in a little Ziploc bag and I saved them, and then when I got some dirt, I threw them in some dirt, and then I covered them up to give them a little bit of, like, you know, a germination dome. And about 2-3 days later, peppers. So then I took them out of those pots and I planted them individually in smaller pots. They were actually in these pots after a while, and there was a bunch of peppers. So I was like, oh my God, look at all these peppers. Let me split them. I split them and I put them in these big pots, and again, too much. So I'm gonna have to do better. And they have to flower, and then from the flowers, they have to create a whole vegetable. So do not cram your peppers together, because that's not a good idea. The fail, that was on me. I didn't do my research. I just thought, I have a green thumb all of a sudden, let me try this. Doesn't work that way. Do your homework. So I also have tomatoes, and I received these tomatoes as a gift. And when I got these tomato plants, there's no tomatoes on it yet, but it is a tomato plant. When I received them, they were doing such a wonderful job in their little pots. And so I said, well, let me transfer them over to a bigger pot. And the transplant went perfect. But again, during transplanting or repotting, your plants are gonna look crappy for like the first 2 or 3 days. What I did was I hit them with some Miracle-Gro all-purpose plant food. Grows bigger, more beautiful plants. Miracle-Gro. I'm not sponsored by Miracle-Gro because if I was, I wouldn't be balcony gardening. But yes, I hit them with some plant food, and they just really perked up, especially today. Like yesterday, they still had me on the fence. I was still kind of nervous that that whole repotting situation was a bad idea, but no, yeah, they sparked up. The snapback is crazy. I love that. Because yesterday they were just like it was doing the most, but now it's like it's looking really tight. So yes, I have some tomatoes. I am looking forward to this one. Is doing absolutely wonderful. I again did my homework and I started to watch videos about tomato plants and how to care for them. And tomato plants develop flowers and everything. They're coming out the ground. If you want the plant to focus more on rooting and getting healthy and getting stronger, then you have to start to cut back what are called suckers. And it's when the plant is trying to do more than what it's supposed to. Like even this one has a sucker on it that I have to get off. I don't know if you can see it. I want fresh and juicy tomatoes, so I want the plant to focus on rooting and becoming a stronger planty. So what I did is I cut off a lot of the suckers, I cut off a lot of the branching, I cut it back a little bit, and that gives the plant the idea that it needs to just focus on minimal things like rooting. You know, get stronger for me. Don't worry about all the other stuff. We can do that later. But yes, so now this plant is looking way healthy. Way healthy enough for being a first-time balcony gardener. For all those people who about to jump on my page and be like, actually, I see a yellow leaf. Don't start me. This is what we got, and hopefully we will get some tomato fruit out of this. I personally cannot even eat tomatoes. I'm allergic to them, but I will give them to people to enjoy the fruits of my labor. So I can't eat them. I probably can't even pick it off this. I don't know why even, whatever. We'll see when we get there. So I also have, let me see what I got here. Okay, so I'm thinking that this is a squash. Some sort of gourd. I'm thinking this is a squash or a cucumber. I could be wrong. I think it's a squash, whatever. So again, this was given to me as a gift. It was looking beautiful when I got it, like droopy when I started to care for it with no knowledge of what I was doing. So I went online, again, I did my homework, and I brought this baby back to life. So transplanting it from the little starter pot that it was in to this pot and adding some, I'm sorry about the wind. All of a sudden it wants to be windy. I wonder why. Someone's hating. Someone's doing a wind spell. No, let me stop. Okay, so this plant was dying, and I hit it with some Miracle-Gro. I poured my apple fertilizer water, which is just apples and stuff cut up in water, and I soaked it and then I poured it on top, and it was doing much better. And now look, the snapback is crazy. Look how pretty. So hopefully, as this gets bigger, I'm gonna transplant this to a bigger container, preferably plastic, see-through, so I can see the roots. But definitely gonna make sure that I keep you guys updated on this. But I'm really excited because I started out with just my baby ferns, and I'm not talking about y'all, don't worry about that. They look terrible right now. I'm not even gonna show you. I'm not even gonna show you. But, and then I just started to, you know, get more and more into it, and now I have my little balcony garden on Sow-N-Sow, on whatever platform this is airing on right now. So yeah, look into gardening. It's very helpful. Hopefully I get some, whatever I think this is, if you guys can look at plants and identify the leaves and all that kind of stuff, then let me know. I do have fun facts on each and every one of these, and when I'm doing my transplanting video, I will have more fun facts. This video is just basically so I can show off my stuff. And I seriously think this is a squash though. I remember someone saying squash to me. We're gonna find out. But yes, this is my plant collection. So I have one more to show you. You know what? I don't even know if I gave praise, but I will give praise, because this little pepper plant was struggling yesterday. I mean, limped over dead. I was so scared that it died. But look what you're doing. You're doing it, buddy. Now I'm gonna actually look up, is there any more care things that I have to do for peppers, sort of like pinching, or pinching back leaves, or right now should I just let it do its thing? I'm gonna look into that, and if you guys know any pepper pros out there, do let me know, as your friendly neighborhood balcony gardener is just getting her hands dirty. So yes, one more, and then I don't even know. I want to say a beet. I don't know. I can't. Don't ask me why none of these are not labeled. I kind of realized that I didn't label them after the peppers. That was the scary part, but I do know what pots I put them in, so that way I was able to keep up with what pepper was what. But honestly, I wrote the names on. It got windy one day. Name's gone. I'm on the balcony gardening, so name's gone. And so when I came out here, I was just like, I guess use the Google lens, taking pictures and finding out from Google Lens what this stuff is. So Google Lens is telling me that this is a beet of some sort. I hope it is. If you guys see this and you know what it is, then you let me know what it really is, because Google Lens is telling me that these are beets. So I'm growing beets, I guess. Again, this plant is doing so wonderful. I was so scared yesterday because the slump was crazy. They was all slumped over. They look terrible. And again, look what I have in there. Look, two, not even one, two peppers. Odin. This is called Odin. So I'm gonna have to take them out, right? You're right. All right, so the beets, I'm gonna do some more research on it, see how much space they need. But I really feel like they are good. I think, I don't know, or how big they're supposed to be at this point. I don't know. I'm gonna do some research, but that's the fun part, is the the learning effect of the trial and error, because learning from your mistakes is what makes you a better person. One more I think I have basil here. I want to say it's basil. I honestly want to say it's basil. Boom. Yes, it is basil. It smells so good. I have no idea what kind of basil. I don't know if it's lemongrass. I don't know, but very nice. And again, transplanted. This plant didn't give me problems off rip. Like, it was just sturdy the whole time during the repotting and the transplanting, and I'm sitting here picking at it, and it did really good. I did hit it yesterday with some neem oil. We'll talk about that in a minute. And some Miracle Grow, and yeah, look at that snapback. I like this. I like that. I like it. So it's doing very well. I'm really, really proud of Mr. Basil. Doesn't have a name yet. I haven't named Mr. Basil. I'm gonna name you Mr. Basil. Don't worry about it. So, and don't judge me, because I'm reusing everything. I'm not going all over these fancy websites and buying these fancy hoses. Not yet. I will though, but not right now. So I'm using all kinds of reusable things, like the fancy butter bowl method, where no, it's not butter, it's rice from 2 weeks ago. Mind your business. So I'm using a spray bottle that I had, and I'm gonna face it this way because I don't know if you can see the name. I'll blur that out. But anyway, it's been cleaned out and sterilized and replaced with solution, which is water, and a lot of water, and a little bit of, I think I put like a teaspoon or half a teaspoon of Miracle Grow in here, some in this bottle, and I sprayed on top of the leaves and sprayed the base yesterday, and now they're looking very snapbackish, so I guess it worked. But yes, you can use the plant stuff. Let me show you it. Miracle Grow. like comes like this. 3 of them came in here. This is actually a refill bag, so I don't know. I bought it. It came with 3 little bags inside of it, and I put a teaspoon. It comes with a little scooper. Let me get that scooper. It comes with a little scooper, and I put a half of this teaspoon thingy scooper inside a lot of this water and sprayed them. And like I'm telling you, they were on their last leg. They were sick of me yesterday, sick of me, and everybody seems like they're feeling better. The attitude is probably still there, but less. They're feeling better, and I'm gonna just keep it that way. I'm not gonna mess with them for the rest of this week as far as, you know, moving them to bigger pots, and I'm just gonna let them rock for a second. I know the massacre, the pepper massacre is going on, but I feel like the ones that's thriving, I have too many peppers. I have nothing to do with these peppers. I have no, you know, ground to put them in. So it's like, I might just have to let that happen just to, you know, weed out the weak and go for it with the strong peppers. At least we know they thorough. So you can mix your solution in with some water and spray it from a bottle that has been sterilized and clean, but you already own. So that's what I did. It works just the same. I didn't really use any special pot and mix. I went for the multi-purpose Miracle Grow pot and mix, and I don't really use anything super organic. And we're gonna get into that not on this video, maybe in a video that's not introductory, because organic, GMO, non-GMO, all that, seeds and blah blah, that's something that I do know a lot about, but I'm not gonna get into it just yet. This is just an introductory video. I'm not even gonna stress y'all out like that. I do not want y'all coming for me in the comments in an introductory video. That's for when you later on get to love me and then I make you not like me. I'm gonna get into what they like, what they don't like in my next video, especially with a lot of trial and error testing going on and what I found. Because again, listen, you treat the plant like you treat the plant, and you treat the plant like the book tells you to treat the plant, and your whole trial and error could still have the same outcome. You can still fail by following the book. You could succeed by kind of just, you know, tweaking it a little bit. So I'm gonna do both, follow the book and tweak it, and I'm gonna see what outcome I have, and that is what I'm gonna share with you guys, because it's a bunch of people online telling you plant care and what works and this is how you do it, but I'm kind of just, sorry about the noise, I'm on my balcony. Well, thank you for joining me on Sow-N-Sow, and this is your favorite balcony gardener Cooper, and I will have more yeses and nos and mishaps for you later, but feel free to comment. Don't say nothing mean, because I'm just gonna block you. I don't have energy for that. But I like criticism, but don't get cute. And feel free to comment, like, and share. I don't have a subscribe yet because I'm not on YouTube. I don't have enough content, guys. I don't have it, but I will. And I'm also going to be throwing up some seed videos, because I am purchasing seeds from a couple of places that I've been dying to, you know, get some seeds from. And we do have a lot of adventures coming up, because it's the summertime, so we're going to not only be stuck on this balcony, we're going to be outside more. So stick around, it's gonna be wonderful. Thank you for joining me today. It's your favorite gardener from Sow-N-Sow Cooper, and I'll see you guys later.